What's a hill that you're willing to die on 1,000% of the time? I'll go first. If you were born during Jim Crow, you should not be making decisions on behalf of our government and on behalf of the people. So that means Mitch McConnell, Nancy Pelosi, Donald Trump, Joe Biden, literally 3/4 of every acting governor in the United States. Sorry, but... So I was on Twitter and I saw that the governor of Alabama, Kay Ivey, is beefing with Joe Biden about that whole pandemic thing that we're in, And I went to her profile and I saw that she's running for re-election. And I looked at her profile picture and I said, ma'am, you don't look like somebody that we should be re-electing to anything. She's 76, and there's nothing wrong with being 76, but we shouldn't be electing people over the age of 65 to government offices. Behind me is a list of all the governors in America. There's only 6 governors below the age of...
No, I'll go first. The word retard is not a slur. I own the word. Okay? This is my shirt. Alright? This is my logo. I own the word. You can use it. Bye-bye. So long.
I believe that in the jungles of Sumatra, there's either a creature that's related to humans or just part of the great ape family. It's called the orang pendek. I probably pronounced that wrong. My Indonesian, tidak baik. Orangutan means jungle person, so orang pendek means short person. These things are described to be quite short, like 3 feet tall. Bodies covered completely in hair. But the interesting part is that they're described to be bipedal, so they walk on 2 feet like humans. Back in the day, the colonial days, the Dutch actually went looking for it because there were just so many sightings of it. And even till this day, there are claims of it being seen. So why do I believe that this could exist, or at least recently existed before going extinct? In another island of Indonesia, the island of Flores, the remains of the Homo floresiensis was discovered, the shortest human species. And in folklore in parts of Indonesia, Melanesia, Australia, very similar.
Guess who's gonna start some shit today?
People who are part of the historical costuming community, and they gatekeep other people by saying that all the costumes they make by machine are not valid. Those people are contributing to the widening gap of the classist structure.
I feel like I do not need to elaborate on this opinion, and this is a hill I will 1000% die on.
If you don't like it, you can go die mad about it.
There's good and bad parasites. They're all bad. Things that feed on their host are not a good thing.
African Union and all them regional organizations on the continent, like ECOWAS, for example, are useless to Africans. They are nothing but puppet organizations that only help to further the interests of the West. Over the years, they have proven that they are not for us. They need to be dismantled, like since yesterday.
Despite all its faults and failings, the United States of America is the greatest country in the fucking world. Tell me I'm wrong.
That her parents were not involved in her disappearance, but that hers were, and that he met with foul play, and so did she.
Ed Solos everybody. And I mean Superman, Goku, Kratos, Ben 10, whoever you want to throw at me, I promise you Ed'll handle him. And no, I'm not just pulling this claim out of my ass. This man once ate a slide just because there was a rock in his shoe. Imagine what he could do if he really was royally pissed. This man can lift an entire house as a baby! Baby Ed did this, not even a bead of sweat. Don't even get me started on the damage he can take. I need one of those pics where it's the entire Marvel universe, all their characters, and then it's just the back of Ed.
Okay, this is a hot take depending on who you talk to in the Disney fandom, but you do not love the movie WALL-E. You love the first 40 minutes of the movie WALL-E. And even as I just said that, you're remembering the whole second half of that movie now and going, oh, maybe he's right.
Indigenous people of South America, Central America, Mexico, the United States, and Canada are just different tribes of the same people.
Stripping prisoners and felons of the right to vote is an inherently fascist move that incentivizes incarcerating your political enemies and anyone that society deems undesirable.
Me gente, real quick. J-Lo wouldn't have the career that she has Respectfully, if Selena Quintanilla didn't die.
Whoopi Goldberg was never ugly. She just didn't fit society's beauty standard at that time. Cause, huh? What? What was y'all talking about? What was y'all talking about? I'd like to speak to a manager because the math ain't mathing.
Your partner not liking your children is a red flag. Something ain't right about that. Like, not liking them, especially if they're like young children. Something ain't right about that.
1, Jesus wasn't white. 2, Jesus wasn't a Christian. 3, Jesus wasn't a big fan of what people did with religion. 4, Jesus never wanted to be idolized and worshipped. 5, Jesus never called us to a church building.
Girls that hover over public toilets are the reason girls have to hover over public toilets. Just sit down. You're the ones that are making the mess. You're the problem. Just sit down. You're the problem. Stop doing that. If you stop, then we can all stop.
Systemic racism has taught us to go after Keith Lee based on his opinion. But Gordon Ramsay don't get that kind of energy.
That the drop-off lane at schools are not for your parents, not for kindergartners. Nope. I mean, we're tucking and rolling. We're barely lucky the car is stopping. Get your backpack on, get unbuckled, get ready. As soon as she opens that door, you're out.
Parasites and worms are a root cause of chronic illness and autoimmune. Maybe not the only root cause, but it's a big one. And Western medicine denies it. You should be cleansing 3 to 4 times a year. Other countries cleanse 2 times a year. They have since birth. But we do not. We are in denial.
What's a hill that you're willing to die on 1,000% of the
That the 3 of them know something about what happened to her. This one will be controversial, but that he is guilty, that he met with foul play, and so did he. This is part 2 of explaining the true crime hills I would die on, cases that I have an opinion on and will stick by them. So I pretty much explained my thoughts on Brandon Swanson in the last part. But I just really think that if he would have, just wandered off, I think he would have been found. I don't think that there's any way that he would have just been walking around because searches were done. As soon as they found the car the next day in the other area, searches were done. So I don't think that he could have wandered off that far and just succumbed to the elements without ever being found. So that's why I think he met with foul play. And I kind of have a similar viewpoint on Maura Murray. I definitely think she met with foul play. I think that on that day, she was leaving her college to go and kind of take a week break, a breather. She was known for that type of spontaneity. I don't think she was purposefully trying to disappear forever. And there's a whole bunch of evidence that points to that. But the reason I think that she met with foul play specifically is because she was seen walking down the street and then just disappeared. And even though no immediate searches were done of the area, there were also no major footprints leading from her car out into the woods or something like that. So that leads me to believe that she was picked up by somebody. If you've seen her sister Julie's TikToks, the actual road that she was on, it wasn't a huge area. It wasn't a big interstate and it wasn't this giant area. So if she would have really just walked off, I think she would have been found. Even if she succumbed to the elements or something like that, I think she would have been found. So that's why I think that somebody picked her up in a car and took her. Let me know if you want me to go in depth in any more of these, or if you want me to make a part 2 of True Crime Hills I would die on.
0% chance that Aoyama is the traitor in My Hero Academia.
It shouldn't cost other people money because you decided to get married. I'm not even talking about gifts. I'm talking about wedding party. I think it is one of the most selfish things you could do to come to somebody that you consider a close friend and be like, hey, I really want you to be a part of my special day, but you also need to fork over money for a dress or a suit or hair, shoes, makeup, bachelor, bachelorette trip, or celebration, yada, yada, yada. A wedding party should not have to pay to be a part of your wedding. Your decision should not affect other people's wallets. It's absolutely ridiculous to think that anybody could spare any dollar amount because you and your other adult assumed working partner are choosing to get married and you didn't take all of the costs into account. Plan within your budget or just go to the courthouse.
If you could look me in my face and tell me that out of all of the galaxy, Milky Ways, nebulas, every single planet, and we are the one little speck of dust in this whole universe, and look me in my face and tell me aliens are not real, we the only people here, you're deranged, bro. Get away from me. That don't even make sense. It don't even make sense logically to say that.
that the sexual health and wellness does not solely fall on the shoulders of a person with a positive STI status. I'm going to tell you why. I have genital herpes, and I make it a practice to disclose to every single one of my partners, potential or otherwise, that I have genital herpes. It is not a secret, and it is not something that I am ashamed of. However, I have made a change to this. I do not take on the responsibility of educating my partners about my STI. I do disclose, and I will answer whatever questions that my partners might ask me. I might even send you a link or two to help get you started, but the research is all on you. We get a little bit too relaxed about our sexual health and our well-being when it comes to our status. And to make it the sole responsibility of the person with an STI, you're trying to make them the scapegoat, so that if by chance you do end up contracting said STI, that you have somebody to point the finger at, and that is not okay. I just got into an argument with somebody in a TikTok live about that, and we ain't agreeing to disagree on nothing. I said what I said, and I'm gonna die about that shit. Don't put that pressure on yourself, babe. If you have an STI, it's okay, but you do not have to take on the responsibility of educating your partners. That's their job.
Women working out and obtaining muscles has been unfashionable and unwomanly for so long, so that they're easier to prey upon.
Don't forget to leave your opinion down below what you think, and don't forget to subscribe, turn on notification. Anytime I upload, you will be notified. Stay blessed, and bye bye.